Hello, friends. Zeb Green here. Pronouns are they, them, and I am the MC, the Master of Ceremonies of Sacred Mischief, one of the people who tries to bring together all of us delightful, chaotic, troublemakers, spiritual seekers, heathens, outcasts, whoever we might be. Lost and confused and bubbling through life, bumping into each other, and sometimes grasping at each other as we run into one another. We're on a path, and we don't need to go it alone. One of my new projects for Sacred Mischief is to bring attention and appreciation to some of the books that I love. The books that have shaped me, the books that inspire me, and hopefully through sharing these books, sharing these wisdoms, we can all come together and really have a shared language and appreciation. Today, the book I wanted to talk about and share my appreciation for is this book here, The Love of Thousands. How angels, saints, and ancestors walk with us toward holiness. This book is a brilliant new work by Christine Valters Paintner. I love Paintner's work in general, and how she always blends artistic expression and play with ancient spiritual traditions to help us all embrace the creative energy of the sacred within our spirits and around us. For a long time, I felt a leaning to go deeper into ancestor work, into praying with the saints and appreciating angels. I was raised to believe that ancestor spirits were just ghosts, and that ghosts were just superstition. Saints were idols and not for us Protestants. Angels were never addressed except for one time a year, around Christmas time. I didn't know how to explore this leaning. The spirituality of my origin was numb. It was a spirituality and a religion that hid from the magic and mystery of the unseen. Not having a spirituality of the unseen, I drifted from the foundations of the faith I was raised in. Among other reasons. I'll get into that in other places. In my drifting, I fell very much in love with fairy stories and folk traditions and legends out of Ireland. I hobbled together my fairy practice and love of the unseen realm. As an adult, I've come back to the matriarchal religions. Those descended from Hagar, Sarah, and Mary. The core prophetic message of justice and liberation embodied in Moses, the Hebrew prophets, Jesus, and Muhammad are deeply in my bones. And I can't escape them. Yet, I've not known how to navigate the unseen world within these faiths. My language wasn't there. My journeys with fairies were not and are not over. But I wanted to see if the traditions of my roots had a language that could deepen my exploration. Christine Valters Paintner has given me that language. One chapter of her book encourages us to pay our respects and brings us toward relationship with four archangels: Michael, the guardian and champion; Gabriel, the messenger and voice; Uriel, the bringer of wisdom and light; and Raphael, the healer. One prayer in particular has stuck with me. The Angel's Prayer, translated by the Velveteen Rabbi Rachel Baron-Blatt. In the name of God, the God of Israel, on my right is Michael, on my left is Gabriel, in front of me is Uriel, and behind me Raphael, and above me, and above all, surrounding me, Sheknatel. Amen. Paintner encourages us to move into this prayer at night before going to sleep, and to pair it with the following practice. We are invited to center into our heart space, call on the divine presence. Paintner asks us to bring our attention to Michael, asking the angel to stand at our right side, to ward off troubles and tribulations, and to be a source that we can lean on as we sleep. We are invited to lean into Michael's strength and security. Next, we are to call upon Gabriel, asking the angel to be on our left side. We are to ask Gabrielle to whisper to us our calling, to be a conduit for us to the divine, and to bless our dreams and intuitions with sacred insight. We are invited to lean into Gabrielle's presence and stories. For guidance, we are to invite Uriel to be before us. We are to ask the angel to bring light to our concerns, to our doubts, and to provide wisdom as we seek answers. We are invited to lean into Uriel and trust the angel's guidance. We are invited to call on Raphael, asking the angel to be behind us. We are to ask Raphael to remind us of our wholeness and to send comfort and healing to our wounded places. We are invited to lean back into Raphael's gentle embrace and care. Finally, we are invited to call on the Shekinah, God's dwelling presence, to surround us and to provide peace and to bless us and hold all of our concerns before we venture off to sleep. As we move into rest, we give thanks to the archangels Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, and Raphael, strength, intuition, wisdom, and healing. We give thanks for the presence and the peace of the sacred around us. We know that our concerns are being held and our needs are being met. Friends, I cannot convey to you all the level of peace this prayer and practice has brought me. My mind races 1,000,000 miles a minute when I go to bed. I have many fears and concerns. It is so freeing to name them and to ask Michael to shield me from them while I slumber. Every day, there is so much that I wish I could say or do but cannot achieve during my hours of wakefulness, or ever achieve in a lifetime. It is a blessing to ask Gabrielle to hold those concerns and bring them to the attention of the universe. Not everything has to be in my hands. I have so many different paths that I could take and problems to solve, and before sleep is when I try to figure out the next day. It's a true blessing to ask Uriel's guidance and admit the limits of my knowing. Sometimes the only wise path forward is to rest and hope that the trail ahead will be illuminated by the morning. I am chronically ill and my body is always sore and in pain. I carry immense worry also and heart-sick ache over the suffering of the world. Taking the time to invite Raphael's care to each of my aching spots, to all of my grief, is the most liberating sensation. There is care and compassion working through me, and for all of creation. I can trust that. I can trust that. Once the archangels have been named, my concerns brought before them, and once gratitude has been given, it is freeing to bring my everything to an awareness of the aura of peace and creative energy around us, to bring attention to the sacred now. There are 4 guardians beside me: Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, Raphael. There is sacredness around me. I can surrender. I can sleep. The magic of the unseen, however we name it, is bubbling around us. I encourage us all to reach out to the archangels, to the spirits of our tradition, to the holy movers and shakers around us. Reach out to them. Call on them for support. You are not alone. Never alone. Sacred support is there for you even if we don't notice it. If you're nervous about exploring the unseen and calling on the hidden energies of this world, this book is a great guide to help you navigate them. I highly recommend it. And if you look at the link below, you can find a copy at my digital bookshop. I hate to bring capitalism and commerce into this sacred space. Hate to acknowledge the fact that things cost money and we have to spend money sometimes. But it's worth it. And through this link, at least, you don't feed the Bezos empire. You don't feed Amazon. So there's a silver lining in it. Buying it through here also helps support my ministry and make it possible for me to take the time to be with you, to speak with you. But above all, put that aside. Take a moment to bless the Spirit, call on these energies, call on these guardians. You're not alone, my friends. You are loved. Be well.